Please remember to stay within your designated zone as stated in your contract. Violation of this contract will result in serious consequences should you survive.
Oh boy. I was trying out my hypertube cannon, and yeah, it works. It works real well. Welcome back. Today we're going to be working on expanding our steel factory to be able to make motors. Hoping to be able to make 15 per minute motors right away and then have it easily expandable. To do this, now that we have blueprints, I'm going to try and incorporate blueprints as much as I can because I think that's going to be the most efficient way to do this. So what I have down here is the first of many blueprints, I hope. So this is going to be a copper sheet production. Basically how it works is in this side, our copper ore goes in, it gets smelted through 2 smelters, it gets spread out into 3 constructors, each making 10 per minute. 30 copper sheets come out here, and then with AutoConnect we can now just connect as many of these together as we need. In this case we only need 2, we only need 6 constructors, so 2 blueprints together to make the copper sheets we need, but in the future we're going to need more copper sheets. We can just keep connecting these and go from there and keep connecting them on this side, just feed more materials in. Mark 3 belts on the edges here. Everything else is just a Mark 1 because that's all it needs to be. These don't necessarily need to be Mark 3s, but it depends how many you connect, so I usually just make them as high as I can reasonably afford, and I've got lots of materials to make Mark 3s. So I'm going to do the same thing now for some wire, and then try and connect all those up, make some stators, make some, I think I'm going to make copper rotors. That's why I'm making copper sheets this time. We're going to use some alternate recipes. Also going to use a steel screw alternate, turn some steel beams into screws far more effectively than with rods. Actually eliminate rods altogether because I don't want to have to bring in any more iron in up here. I'm already using all the iron I have, and I already had to bring in that extra belt, and that one I'm using everything that's on it. I could overclock a little bit and get up to 270 on that belt, but I can't get any more than that on the belt, so I want to use copper for most of what I'm doing here. Should be able to get 15 motors out of my 1 pure copper node that's just at the corner of my factory. Oh, right here. Yeah, this copper node here will feed what I need to for motors, and well, work through a few more blueprints, get everything all hooked up, and see if we can get some motors going and get some of tier 5 completed. We have our 240 copper coming out of this miner here. We have this belt, we're running down the belt. Come down over here, and we're going to bring it up here. I'm just going to leave some space in the middle here. We can deal with some more of our important machines, and I'm just going to kind of run these other machines out here. Since the blueprints are designed to run the material out one way and bring in the finished product the other way, we can just run it out here as far as we need for as much as we need to, and we shouldn't run into the same issue we ran into with our modular frame factories where we run out of space. I can just keep going and going and going and cut trees as I need to. So to do that, we need to go into the blueprints. We're going to grab, first we're going to make copper sheets. So each machine makes 30 copper sheet per minute. I need 60. Make sure we're lined up the right way here. Something like that should work. And then out this side, our finished copper sheets should pop out. And then as I need to add more, I need 2 in this case. Control, spin it around, make sure it's spun the right way. Oh, I gotta change my mode first. Auto connect looks right, I think. Connect that up, make sure we connect our power lines up since those don't auto connect, and we should have everything all set up for our copper sheets. I might need to make a bit more space here, and then we can get our wire. We need 240 wire, each one makes 120, so it'll be this similar idea here. Make sure we have everything set up. This is where I want it lined up to, something like that. This really doesn't need any space between it. There shouldn't ever be anything there as long as it's not auto-connecting. Yeah, maybe we'll leave a little bit of space just so it doesn't auto-connect. This one we don't have to have it on for, but the next one we will, so something like that. Like that, run down this way. Another one behind it. Trying to copy this blueprint, and I did notice a little bit of weird behavior having 2 blueprints so close together. I thought I left enough of a gap that it wasn't going to be an issue, but it looks like it is. I think I found a way around it. Let's see if that works. So, well, I'll show you what happens. If I copy this blueprint, connect it, it looks great. I click it, but then I can't click it again. I'll just lock that in place. The reason I can't click it again is this belt here is trying to connect from out of here and into this other blueprint that I'm standing on for our copper sheets. So that's not great. I can't get it down, I can't put it down and then remove this, it just won't let me do anything. This is even holding it in place with the H key. So then the other option I have is, if I copy it, instead of control clicking, holding control on the side, that's not going to work. I'm going to have to move it to somewhere, press the H key. Oh, no, it's not going to work that way either. Okay, I'm too far over. I have to move it basically somewhere so that it's far enough away from this other one, but it still connects to this one. Then I can... Yes, okay, I want to connect to that, and then if I move it over and line it up, then I can place it. And I placed it backwards. I don't know how to get out of this. Oh, there we go. We got out. Oh boy, but it's
you
far
are in
too
imminent
late.
violation of your fix-it contract. Please refrain from leaving the designated zone or you will immediately be terminated.
I've been terminated. What did I achieve? Bye-bye, world. Bye-bye. Wow, that's effective. That's quite effective. Okay, I think I have my hypertube design all figured out here. Blueprint for a launcher. You just get in from either side here, and when you get ready to go out, you got to press E every once in a while. You do a couple extra laps, and hopefully you only do a couple, because otherwise you'll fly off the end of the world. It seems a little dangerous. Maybe there's a better way to do it. Okay, I found a new problem. You can only deploy a parachute if you are descending. So if you're still on the ascending part, well, no parachutes, and you end up... There was a SAM node right there. There's my miners. It was right there. It was right there. I ran all the way off. Boy, it's a good view you get from up here. I went all the way up there for it. There was run right here. Okay, well that's helpful. We're going to need to actually tap that soon. That's good to know that that's right there. Right on the edge of this red forest. Anything else we can see from here? Everything else we can see from here? Yeah, even the other desert. Wow. Yeah, it gives us a good view. I'll give it that. Well, let's make our way back. Okay, I didn't like my first version. I tried to make another one, but I was having trouble, so well, I stole this one from online. Let's see if this one works any better. Why is that not showing power? That's... Oh, I gotta connect this. I must get one port. I didn't steal that part. Apparently I didn't do a very good job copying it. Do I even need that part? Get in it there. Yeah, okay, we did get out, but it took us a while. I don't know. Well, I'm not sure it works any better than the first design. Oh, there we go. But that wasn't really what I wanted to do. Now I can press E. And it just, yeah, see, it just doesn't work. Like, it does not consistently work. I don't like it. Okay, I think I finally have a design that I'm happy with, that I think I won't die if I use it. The trick was a little bit of a longer tube to give me a bit more time to press E when I'm changing directions, and to know that I'm not pressing it multiple times and changing it back and forth. So, simple launcher over here, two hypertube entrances, and then a little short spur here, and then this long tube here gives you the choice of being able to switch directions. So, if we want to try it out, we come over here. You could easily add another junction here and use one as an entrance. I just didn't bother because I figure, you know what, I don't mind coming over here to enter it, that's fine. That little bit of time savings for the cost of an extra entrance and the power that it takes right now is worth it to me. So it comes over here, E to cycle travel direction. Oh, I gotta cycle it back. I gotta reset it first here. One more time. So, cycle travel direction. Okay, we're going the right way. Once, twice, 3 times E, and out we go. So that seems to work much better, gives everything much more time to figure out what it's doing. yeah, seems to be an acceptable alternative to the 1.1 ones at a much lower cost. So I think that's going to work for us, and then we can just pick how far we want to go. If we want to go quite a bit further, we can. Oh boy. Nice. Okay, here is our motor production. So we have our copper sheets being made here. 60 of those per minute. We have our wire being made here, 240 per minute. Copper sheets make their way over this direction to some assemblers working on copper rotors. We have steel screws being made here with our beams coming out at 520 per minute. Just go into this. That's better. Okay, so yeah, our beams come out here. We only need 10 beams per minute to make 520 screws per minute, far more efficient than making them into rods first. These come out and feed each one of these rotor machines is underclocked to produce exactly 10 per minute. Goes into these motor assemblers, consuming 10 per minute. They also consume 10 per minute of stators, which are produced at 5 per minute in each of these, so we group them into twos and send them across. These get their materials, they get pipes from over here, the steel pipe, as well as the... oh, that's not what's supposed to be there. There's a problem somewhere with our thing. I'm gonna have to take a look at this. Oh, that shouldn't be there, that should be over there. This should be wire coming in. This should not be copper ingot. That's going to be a bit of an issue. We're going to have to clean that up. But after we clean that up, this thing should be up and running. Up 1, 2, connect that up. This can then feed into there. So at least that's going to give us the right materials. Now we just got to clear out the wrong materials. Oh, that's always a pain. Let's get rid of the lift. And can we just reinstall the lift, or is it just not going to work? Looks like it might. Okay. Green, green, green across the board. So that should be it. We should have, very shortly, stators coming out here, joining with our rotors, our copper rotors, to make motors at 15 per minute for now. Going into this storage. I got tons of storage. The idea being the small storage container will just be to supply our dimensional depot, and then I'll steal from the bottom container after it backs up into there for other production chains. At some point in time, we are definitely going to need more motors than this, but as for current production, this is about what we had available, so that's what we had to work with. Definitely have more room to grow here. We'll just fill in this entire area with factory. Maybe we'll build upward. Okay, here we are back at the hub, and I think we can unlock the jetpack, cable, motors, and plate. Smash that red button!
Milestone reached.
Our next milestone will be oil processing, so I think we pretty much have the materials we need for it. We just have to wait for our pod to return. We can get that, and we can start trying to determine where we're going to put our oil processing plant. See if I can find some oil around this area, and yeah, I think that'll be our next major project. Okay. Motors, encased beams, pipe, and sheets, so we can get oil processing.
Milestone reached.
I do want some quick wire. I was just working on setting up some quick wire production up here. Just need a little bit more Caterium first to unlock it, but I think now that I've got power up here, I should be able to set up our quick wire production, get some of that moving into a dimensional depot. Maybe make sure we have dimensional depot stuff going before we start building our fuel plant and making a little bit of plastic and rubber to finish off tier 5. 6 smelters, we should have enough Caterium ingot here to unlock quick wire, and then we can get some better power poles, because I'm so tired of power poles everywhere. 5, 6, 7. A little bit of room to walk around everything, and then we're going to have to figure out how we're going to merge and split all these belts. Here is our quick wire plant. 240 Caterium ore coming out of the Mark II miner, pure node, coming down into 6 smelters. One of them probably should be a little bit underclocked, but I haven't bothered with that. It doesn't save a ton of power. I guess I could save myself a little bit of power and maybe make my grid a little more stable if I underclocked one of these to make it match exactly 240. Right now it's able to consume 270 per minute. Sends out the other side at 80 per minute. Each of these consumes 12. The last one gets whatever the leftover from that is, 8 I suppose. And then the end 3 here send up and over into the top of that container. The other ones end up in the bottom of the container. They end up in the same spot, but we didn't have the belt speed to put them all on one belt, so I put them on 2 just so that the machines can run steady. We're not going to really need to grab anything from here right yet, but that'll just build up. Then it builds up in this container and then goes into a dimensional depot, so we have it. So we can now use better power poles and a few other things. I was able to get zip line and yeah, some other stuff there. So unlocked all those things, and I think that's it for this area. Maybe we just not sure. Do we go do our oil? Maybe I should go finish my SAM. Since we've got that SAM node up there, maybe I should pipe that down here. Get some SAM fluctuators running, and then I can maybe go find a couple Mercer spheres and get everything into the dimension so I don't have to run back and forth nearly as much. I think that's probably the most efficient, so I think our next stop will be up here, and we'll plumb that SAM down into this area here, and I think we just need some of the copper and some pipes to make fluctuators, so we'll head over that way now. This is something I didn't realize. You can run power lines right underwater. Cool. There's all my stuff. Okay, this is an interesting thing I've noticed. If you have a dismantle crate and you don't end up emptying it, everything else that would make a dismantle crate just goes to your first dismantle crate. So I dismantled some stuff up there, it ended up here. I dismantled some stuff way over at my copper factory over there, it ended up here too. So I guess that might be an effective way to move things. I'm not sure if that's how that's supposed to be or if that's a bug. That does remind me, I totally forgot to put in my storage container here that I was totally planning on doing. So, good reminder, I guess. Lose all your materials, brings you back to where you're supposed to be? Sure. Yeah, see, that's why that old design was terrible. Yeah, that's not what I wanted to do even a little bit there.
Your subscription to the function of any and all fix-it property expires the moment it leaves its designated zone.
This time, we're not using this cannon. We're gonna put our new launcher down. I ain't taking no chances. Launch. Nice. Just exactly what I wanted it to do. Could have done one more lap, but oh, I got jetpack now. Nice. I forgot about that too. Need some better fuel for it though. That's what I'm hoping to get. Fluid packaging. I can start using liquid biofuel, which is arguably one of the best fuels in the game, at least until you get to very, very late game. We have our reanimated SAM. I've now realized this was kind of a side project I did there. Brought the SAM down this conveyor here, just another one right on top of the other 3 for coal. The SAM actually comes from just on top of the waterfall over there. Fed it over here, turned it into reanimated SAM, and then realized I don't have what I need to make it into SAM fluctuators. SAM fluctuators require a manufacturer, and I only have assemblers, so I need some plastic production, some rubber production, and then I can go unlock my manufacturers, then I can get my SAM stuff going, then I can go find some Mercer spheres, and then I can make my dimensional depot better. Let's launch ourselves back. 2, 3, 4, launch, launch. Come on, launch. There we go. Okay, there was two extra. Not deathly terrible, but here we are at our oil nodes. I think we have a pure node here and 2 normal nodes here. I have our oil extractors on each one, and I've kind of filled the middle here with foundations. This is roughly where we're going to put our fuel, oil, plastic, rubber factory here. For now, I just have a temporary setup. 2 of these refineries doing plastic and 2 of them doing rubber. That gives us exactly 60 heavy oil residue, which can make a little bit of fuel, which we're just going to store in these until we can unlock fuel generators, and then we can fire up a fuel generator here. This is really just to get us going with a little bit of rubber and a little bit of plastic. This is not what I want my final setup to be, but I need those things to unlock how I want to do my final setup, so this is a very temporary setup. This is only going to consume half of what this node produces, but that's fine. We'll pipe this into these, run this power back to our grid, and fire this up, get some plastic and rubber moving. Once we get these bins mostly filled, we will probably tear this all down and build something more permanent here that'll actually produce some power and be far more efficient. Maybe some diluted fuel recipes, some packaging, unpackaging stuff. Definitely get a little more complicated. For now, I just need some materials, so this is the setup to get the materials. We have fluid packaging.
Milestone reached. Avoid the embarrassment of placing liquids in your pockets only for them to spread across your suit. Package and unpackage them with the packager.
I think I might just temporarily, or maybe even semi-permanently, try and set something up. I have a setup here that does decently with processing leaves and wood into solid biofuel for our biomass burners. I don't want to take them down quite yet until we get other things online, just because we're bouncing right off that 1800 megawatt production. I don't want to dig into batteries too deep, and I know we're going to have to get more running before we get online. So I want to leave these biomass burners up at least until we get fuel generators up online. But I could steal a little bit of this biomass, because I think I need that to make liquid biofuel. Is that right? We have one more mini factory created, and I just noticed I didn't hook up my power to my water extractor, so that's not going to be running. But before I do that, I'll just show you. So over here we have our leaves and wood being turned into biomass, being turned into solid biofuel to feed our biomass burners. The excess comes out this way, feeds down into this refinery, set to liquid biofuel. Liquid biofuel goes into the packager. We have a constructor making packages. Then out here we get packaged liquid biofuel. I just need to add water and we should be up and running. Liquid biofuel's got to be one of the best jetpack fuels, so let's go get some. Almost no burn on that liquid biofuel. It's wonderful stuff. Anyway, we just need some encased beams, and we can complete Logistics Mark IV. Interesting with this is I don't even have to go as many times around. That's probably enough. Launch myself up. And yeah, I'm not going quite as fast, but I got a lot more control. And with liquid biofuel, I can fly my way wherever I want to go. Let's press that button. One to go in Tier 5. Let's see what we can find for Mercer spheres and crash sites. Doesn't look like I've dealt with that crash site yet, so let's see if we can get that hard drive. Gimme. Thank you. Bang our head off that machine and dump the plastic in, and Tier 5 is complete.
Milestone reached. It is my honor and privilege to inform you that the fuel-powered generator, as well as the industrial fluid buffer, are now available. Due to a lack of gold in your sector, Caterium will serve as a suitable replacement to construct the fuel-powered generator. Your research into this element was valuable. In fact, you in particular are my most valuable pioneer, but don't tell the others I said that. It would be bad for morale.
MVP. I just want to throw a fuel-powered generator on, so not so much that we need the power, but I just need to burn up this fuel so that this whole place doesn't shut down on me. Because it's already backed up and shut down on me, so yeah, that was good timing, I suppose, or I don't know if it was or not, maybe it's been shut down for a while. Fuel-powered generator, I think we might need 2 of these. I can't remember exactly what the consumption rate is on raw fuel. I feel like I haven't burnt fuel for a while. I guess we gotta hook it up to figure that out. $20 cubic meters per minute, and we should be making 40. So yeah, if we just grab another one of these, spin it around. around, control, click it into place. We don't have rubber. Well, guess where I'm at? I'm at my rubber machine over here. Let's grab some. Need some in the dimensional depot too, then? I have some going in, but let's put some more in. Copy you. Something like that. Pipe up to it. And then I think we just need to hook power cables up to those. Have to hook them to our grid, but they may as well be, because now our grid looks much better again. So our temporary fuel generator's online, and that leaves me some time to be able to go around and collect some other materials that we're going to need to finish this project. Okay, this is my method for power. I've got 3 biomass burners, each with a tiny bit of biofuel in them, all hooked up, and we should have enough power now to open our pod. Grab the hard drive, and then we can come back over and get rid of all this stuff.